Yeah, it's good. Last year was weird. Had a lot of stuff going on with injuries and just like getting it figured out and everything, but got that all like taken care of and behind me. And there was kind of like some questions as how I would feel coming back into competition. Everything feels great. I feel like myself. I lost some weight. I changed up my workout regimen a little bit, and I feel like I'm moving good and throwing really good right now. So.
I know last year you kind of fluctuated between a starter and a reliever a few times. What do you seem to think you're more comfortable in? Do you agree with that?
Whatever they want from me. I think we're going to start out slow, just coming off injury, starting the bullpen, and then kind of just see what happens.
Physically for you, when you talked about the changing in the conditioning, did you change your diet at all?
No,
How much weight did you drop?
20 pounds.
20 pounds.
Yeah, but I've always ate pretty good. Just I had a real heavy lifting regimen in the off season, so I kind of went away from that and just trusted more lifting like a pitcher, as you would say, and but it's been good. I feel great.
So lifting like a pitcher is not as much weight.
Yeah, not like 300 pounds on deadlift and squatting a bunch and stuff like that, but. It's like I learned that in college, and like the discipline aspect of it really helped me like progress my career professionally. But you kind of like have to humble yourself and figure out that this is a long season, and staying on the field is the most important thing.
For you, stuff-wise, have you introduced anything new? Is there anything in particular you're working on, or is everything pretty much the same, just trying to kind of hone in on it?
Yeah, it's the same, kind of like just tuning everything up, especially my put-away pitches. I kind of learned a new changeup last season, just a new grip. It's a lot more movement, and just trying to command that. But everything feels really good right now.
As far as like gelling in the clubhouse, this big league kind of experience and all that, how would you describe the last couple of seasons for you, making this transition, being in this clubhouse, new guys coming in, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's 2020 with like Lance and Jeff Mathis and Xavi, it was like a lot of veteran leadership, and then we had that a little bit last year, but then after the trade deadline, it's a bunch of young guys, and so we're all trying to navigate everything together. So I think just having like that veteran leadership again this season, along with the guys that were young 2020 and last year have a little bit of experience under their belt, I think it's going to be a really good mix of experience and just camaraderie and everything in the clubhouse, and doing it together and feeling comfortable and trusting everyone else.
It's a great answer to a very poorly worded question. By
What do you before the game about you leading off and potentially doing it during the season? How do you feel in that spot?
Yeah, I like it. I think in general, I kind of want to bring some energy, attack, and in camp, kind of the message they've kind of laid in the philosophy from Woody to Donnie and Hires has been fast break offense. To be aggressive, to be the aggressors, and I'll do it in any spot in the lineup. But I do like, leading off an inning in general. Kind of, hey, I'm going to try to get this thing going.
Yeah. You have the power. Woody really likes that. He liked it with Chu. The chance to be up 1-0 on the first batter.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you're talking about.
It's the best start you can have to a game, analytically speaking. I think regardless, just trying to get something going, be aggressive, and hopefully put the pitcher on his heels a little bit.
And go out there and steal second, third, and
Yes.
score, or
Yeah,
throw in error,
for sure. Yeah, that's the plan.
Was that what did y'all see in the game plan that?
I think in general, just in camp, we want to be aggressive. On the bases, we want to be fearless and try to get to third. And once I was on second, I just wanted to get to third for Corey and make it easy. And just you got to get in the practice here and want to definitely treat these games like it's regular season.
Greg by real quick here. Sorry.
Come on, Greg.
Oh, I was just intrigued.
I know. I might say something about you though. I don't want you to get any
yeah.
Okay. You can't. It won't be that bad.
So a week out, where's this lineup at? It looks obviously scoring a ton of runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think everybody's just keeping their head down and just kind of working. I think in general we're all working on some things, but then individually I think they've got a lot of really good plans and just trying to take it, a day at a time and That's the big thing. You don't want to get too overwhelmed and think, oh, we got to do this. You got to hit this many doubles or win this many games. It's like just go out there and try to win a game that day, and the rest will kind of take care of itself. But the coaching staff does a great job just kind of letting us go about our business and play. So it's been a really, really good camp.
I didn't look, but how much infield did you play last year?
A lot.
A lot?
Yeah. No, I'm an infielder. I've played most of my career in the infield, but last year, a little bit. It just depended on the roster. So at times I played right field when Bryce was down for a couple weeks. I played second base when Segura was down. I played left field. I played first base at the end of the year. So I've truly played all over, and I love being able to kind of go wherever, and helps me get on the field.
Are you just more, I don't want to say comfortable, but do you like kind of knowing you're probably going to play more left field this year as it stands?
It really, truly, I try to be, bulletproof in a sense that, nothing surprises me or I just kind of prepare for it all. But yeah, it's been really nice getting some quality work, in left field and the outfield. Something that I haven't really done in the past. I've really just kind of, in the season, they just kind of throw me out there. So it's been good to really put the work in.
How's that been with Beasley, getting out there, working on your defensive work? Because it's a pretty good defensive outfield when you look at
100%.
and Cole.
100%. Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been really great getting to work with those guys every day in Bees, and same thing. It's like the overall themes in camp just kind of fit exactly with, the player I'm trying to be. So it's been really, really fun.
Third base?
Mm-hmm.
How comfortable are you there?
Really comfortable.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, why are you surprised?
No, just, you haven't played there a lot in your career. Just kind of looking at the...
Yep. Yeah, no, it's a position, you're right. Like, because when I first came up, I was playing short, but also, like, on those teams, we had Kyle Seager and Evan Longoria, two guys that play every single day of every inning. So, but lately, I think it's a really good position for me. I think I definitely have the attributes it takes to be a good third baseman, and a little bit in 19, played there, a little bit in 20 with the Cardinals. But, yeah, it's a position I love.
The first inning, you pitched better than
Yeah,
the results should have shown.
Yeah, honestly, I thought all in all, I threw the ball pretty well, mixed speeds. That first inning, obviously, a couple of infield hits. It was really one hard hit ball all game. Squared it up, happened to be with the bases loaded. Obviously, would have liked to make a better pitch there, but all in all, I thought mixed it up pretty well. Didn't really give up much hard contact, and get back out there the next time.
You talk a lot about, I guess, limiting the damage, and I think you said it was one ball that unfortunately got sent out, right?
For sure. I think in the past there's definitely been some problems for myself in stopping the bleeding, in those big innings, and I think a few things didn't bounce my way there, and to settle down and come back out there and finish the next two up pretty good, and hopefully during the season can continue to go a little bit longer. So I think as part as a maturation standpoint goes, I think it was definitely good to settle down and go back out there and throw the ball pretty well.
So we got a week until opening day.
Yep.
What do you think?
Shoot, we're excited. I think us as a clubhouse in here and as an organization, think we can come out and surprise some people. So I think we're all pretty unified and pretty excited to go out there and try to prove some people wrong.
What about you personally? Are you up in the air? Are you feel good about things?
Yeah, personally, I'm just kind of going out there and like I said last time, going out there and trying to just make myself the best player I can be, and that's gonna in turn help the Texas Rangers win more baseball games. So I think we're pulling all on the same side of the rope in here to go and make the Texas Rangers win as many baseball games as we can. So I think as long as that's the main focus, I think we're gonna be all pulling for it.
Physically, how are you feeling with the short spring training and everything?
Honestly, good. Physically feel great. Took the work when we were locked out pretty seriously. So I think body's in a good spot going into season. I'm excited and ready to go.
60s the last couple days.
Going?
Yes.
Decisions. Where are you on your decisions?
Nowhere closer than we were yesterday. No, I mean, we obviously talk every day. There's a constant dialogue, obviously, between JD, CY, and I, and staff, and I feel like we're close. We still got to kind of wait until a few more days, on some of these decisions, health reasons and various other reasons, but we're getting there. It's just there's some tough ones.
For you, I mean, how much of it is just continuing to break these things down? I mean, are guys, their performance in games at this point? I mean, what's going into making these?
I think some of the pitching ones, we have to see them a few more times because we have the luxury of having to see them. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, some of these relievers will go a day off and then pitch, and then a day off and then pitch. So we actually, the more we can see them, the better. Just see the execution. Any guys on the bubble, that may determine, or it may not, to be honest with you. If it's just a okay performance, or we see something that kind of leads us one way or the other, we can make a decision off that. But at the end of the day, if we don't feel like we get much more information, then we're going to have to, it's a gut check. And we might have some disagreements, but at the same time, we got to do what we feel is best for the ball club.
Will the starters go one more time? Like, will Taylor pitch Tuesday?
I don't.
A full load?
Yeah, I don't. Yes. Yeah, I would think if they can pitch one more time, they're going to go as much as they possibly can. Typically in the past, the last outing was kind of a lesser outing, just to kind of because they're fully built up. But we're still in the process of building them up. So any outing we can get, we're going to, obviously increase their pitch count, 15 or so, or however many Doug feels comfortable. But yeah, it's not going to be like a typical spring training where they build up and then the last one they just kind of go a couple innings and get out of there. We need every outing we can get.
Yeah, because conceivably he could get to 6 innings because he pitched 4 yesterday. Right? I mean, that's,
yeah, I mean it's like I said,
6
it's
for his first start.
For the first start, maybe. Yeah. I mean 6 meaning pitch. It's more pitch count than innings.
Right.
But I mean I don't think anybody's going to be over 85. I think that's the top that we can kind of foresee. Maybe somebody will be around that 80, 85. And it depends on how those innings go, and he gets to that 85. If they're pretty stressless innings, then we can let it happen that way. But I don't think we're going to push anybody too hard.
Why is Dennis opening today? Was there a reason for that?
I think it's a strategy we may use, with some of the lefties, or it just depends on how who's our fifth spot. I think it's something that we've definitely talked about. And we're definitely going to use that, strategy when it makes sense. As we get probably into the season, we may use it earlier. We may just say, hey, we're lined up this way. This isn't a great matchup for him. The top of the lineup is this, either right or left. We're going to have a unique opportunity to do that with the bullpen we're going to have. We're probably going to have a few lefties down there and obviously righties. So with 2 lefties in the rotation, along with the other 3. So it just gives us a lot of good options to give us the best chance to win a game.
The roster, is it going to be 14 pitchers, or are you guys flirting with 15?
I'd say probably leaning towards 15 right now. That would make the most sense for us. Like I said, it allows us to be a lot more strategic in what we want to do. It allows us to give guys more time in between outings, especially early in the season. We don't want to push anybody too hard, especially in the bullpen. Some guys we don't want to go back to back, so it allows us to do that. 14, depending on who our fifth starter is, if it's not a fully built up fifth starter or somebody we want to keep shorter, then obviously we're going to need arms.
Have any of the 5 guys with the outs? Do you guys have to make a decision on them tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think we got them. I don't think I've gotten any word that they've asked for it. But we have to make decisions on them being on the roster. I mean, obviously those are some tough ones because some of these guys have a lot of experience, a lot of really good experience that could be beneficial. But we just got to kind of obviously weigh the risk reward in that, and if they still have what we think can get people out, we may add them. But we're still talking through that.
How much will Brad Miller play infield, if at all?
I think that depends. It depends a lot on Andy, to be honest with you. If Andy, does really well, both offensively and defensively, he could find himself playing pretty much most of the time. If not, either offense or defense struggles, then Brad can play third base. So I don't foresee him playing in the middle too much. Obviously, with those other guys. He could play first base if we needed him. I know he played a lot there in Philly. but I see, he's going to play. He's played some third base. He's going to play another game at third base. I just want to see it, get him some more reps there. But primarily, at the start of the season, we'll be in left field, probably with him and Solak out there.
So Simeon's your backup shortstop, correct? So if Corey has a day off,
I'd put Simeon out there.
so,
Yeah.
and then who plays second? Is that
I
Nick,
got
or-
Yeah, I mean, I got Nick, I got Andy could probably go over there. Kolby can go over there if he's on our team. So there's just a lot. I mean, we have backup in that position because we have 3 guys. If Kolby's on the team that we could have that have played there.
Who's your best defensive backup third baseman? Or who's your best defensive third baseman?
Probably Kolby. If like I said, if he's on our roster, he's probably our best third baseman. He's our best guy off the bench for sure. Andy's obviously made a lot of progress there. I feel pretty comfortable just honestly telling him, hey, just worry about third base. I know he could play first. He could be versatile enough to go to the outfield if we needed him to. He played really good at second base, but right now it's like I really wanted him to focus just to see what it looks like when he's focused on one spot. And he's played pretty well up there. He's been dependable so far.
So Miller is hitting batting leadoff. Is that something you've flirted with? Could he do that during the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially against the right-hander, you got a punch right out of the gate, and it allows somebody in front of Simeon and Seager and Garver that hammers righties. If it's a right-handed pitcher, absolutely. I love the fact that he represents fear, from pitch one. He already did it once this spring, first pitch of the game, hit one out. So I like that. His on-base percentage, is obviously much better against righties. So it's, if you got that kind of punch and that kind of stress level, and listen, Simeon's fine. I love him at the top as well. But, if you get a guy right in front of him that's getting on base a lot and honestly hits extra base hits and does some damage, it sets the tone for us as an offense, especially against a right-hander. Against a lefty, I'll probably almost always go Simeon or a right-handed hitter. But I like the idea of Miller, and I've done it a couple times without him being with Simeon and Seager, but putting him in front of them. I'm curious to see how that plays out.
What have you seen from Willie this spring at the plate?
Kind of a little up and down. I think, and I've talked about this with the pitchers. Some guys, it's an important spring training. I know, and listen, I think every year is important. I don't want to, I don't think any year you go in, okay, I can have a bad year this year and I'll be fine. I think Willie's, maybe pressing a tiny bit when it's just he wants results. He wants to kind of hit the ground running to start the season. We just got to get him to kind of relax and stick with the things he's been working on. He hasn't swung the bat as well lately, but, I know the work in there. He's putting it in, just talking to the hitting guys. So, just hopefully he can relax, have a good game, get some results, and hopefully start the season on a good note.
One of the scenarios you've entertained recently has been like if Leote emerged and could play center, you'd move Adolis in right field, and I'm assuming then that means Cole moves to left.
Potentially, yeah.
Well, that's and I mean, part of me says, well, look, you can play right, you can play left, whatever. But he hasn't played much left.
No, but I wouldn't worry about him. He would obviously get the reps. He's played out there a little bit. He hasn't played out there a ton. It isn't as easy to say, hey, you just play the corner, or you play either corner, right? There is some challenges there. I just think that's a little bit down the road.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've stated before, if one of those guys in AAA, it could be as soon as 2 weeks, but I think it would be more like a month.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So we would have some time if we're getting reports on Leote and it's like, hey, he's beating the door down. We're going to get those reports fairly quickly. And I don't know if we make the move that quickly, but it would be something that I would probably, whisper in Cole's ear and be like, hey, this could happen. It could be coming at some point, so he could just get his reps there. We can do some. Good thing about playing outfield is, batting practice nowadays. Not too many balls are hit on the ground. Pretty much every ball is smashed in the air. So there's a really good opportunity to get some power shagging in, more game-like. Infielders have a hard time doing that because just guys don't hit ground balls. But I wouldn't worry about Cole. I think he could play the position no problem. It's just I think he's always just been a right fielder because he's really good over there. He's been a Gold Glover over there, so it's like there's no reason to move him. But obviously Adolis, I think, is would be the one guy that would
Your priority there. At least.
it would be a priority just because he's so good over there.
And then I wanted to ask you about pitch comp. Finally today we had a call with MLB, and now I understand it.